All right, welcome to week 3 of our building tricks. Today we're going to be building mouth tricks for helpful task foundational skills for the service dogs in training, or just people that want to do tricks that have to do with like creating more of a helper dog. And this week we are introducing things to do with their mouth. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Deanie, give me a if you can see that. Okay, cool. Okay, so task training skills for service dogs, but just fun ways to introduce new tricks. And we are going a little slow this first 3 classes because I wanted to bring in one skill at a time. So the first 2 weeks we did nose target skills, we did paw target skills. So now we're doing mouth skills. I'm Yoram Madiris. I'm from Canine Learning Academy, and I'm the owner, but I'm also a service dog trainer. So I took a course through cooperative care. It was one of the certifications that I took very, very early on. And I've been able to use a lot of that to help create some of the curriculum, but also some pet parents that wanted to have a service animal. So when it comes to like choosing the right dog for them, there's 2 parts. One that is that the dog can perform in public, and the second, does it have the skill set to do these kinds of tasks? So a lot of the retrievers are going to come natural to the tasks that we're going to do today with the mouth. So advanced mouth-based task skills, because Deanie is extremely advanced, typically you would break this one skill up into probably, I think, 8 to 10 lessons, but I'm just going to do it in one lesson because Deanie's really advanced. But I'm going to explain it so that if you are doing this from scratch with your young puppy, you're going to slow it down. Deanie's going to make it look extremely easy, and so are the videos that I'm going to show today with my own dogs doing these tasks. So we're moving into a little more advanced task and trick work. Um, so like I said, we did focus on nose and paw. So if you've missed those 2 classes, we can incorporate that in today's email afterwards. I'll go ahead and add those first 2 classes. So they're preparing dogs for retrieving, carrying, cleaning up, pulling, and opening. So we're not just teaching dogs to grab things, we're teaching them to use their mouth with control, clarity, and purpose. So a lot of these skills are going to put on a cue pretty quickly. So let's break down what actually a retrieve is. So if you look at these little images here of puppy going through a retrieve for a slipper. So it's not just go get it and then not being able to break it down. So if you're breaking it down from scratch, let's go through those steps. So a retriever looks simple, but it's actually several behaviors linked together. And typically what you see here in this bullet point is what you're supposed to teach one step at a time. But I'm going to chunk it, I call it, and we're going to teach it all at once because Deanie is amazing at this already. So first thing is that the dog notices the object, whatever the object is that you want them to retrieve. That is step 1. If your dog doesn't notice it, you can't move on to step 2. So that's just to be clear. If your dog is scared of the object, you're not going to ask them to put it in their mouth. Step 2 is taking the slipper. So they have to actually put that object in their mouth. Then it's holding the slipper. Then it's carrying, so moving from point A to point B. And that's where that nose target that we did a couple weeks ago, last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago. You can use a nose target to teach a carry. Once the object's in the dog's mouth, you can ask them to bring it to you by simply showing them, here, put your nose over here while you're carrying that thing. Step 4 for the retrieve is the carry. Step 5 is delivering it to your hand. So that's a target. So think about just in that little image of image number 5, we almost look at this as a chin target to the hand. Because if you were to teach a really solid chin target and you placed your hand palm up, cupped like bring your chin right here, your dog would target their chin to your hand while holding that object, and you would get a perfect fetch to hand every single time. So, Deanie, just to clarify, if there's any parts of this chain that are broken, you can go back and train that one skill. Okay. So if the precision of them, like you're going to see in the video, Bandit often will throw the object to me. So I think Bonnie does the same. So it's almost like he doesn't want to get too close. So I recognize that I actually need to work on skill number 5 with Bandit. Bentley's got a pretty decent, he actually holds it there and waits for me to like really get my hand in position. Where with Bandit, I often drop the object because he's kind of tossing it to me. And then step 6 is the release, and that's the drop. So I'm going to show you if you're struggling with the drop or the 5, the delivery. There's a couple things that we can do to troubleshoot that. So once your dog is good at all 6 of those steps individually, then you can put it on a cue that says, do all those things in one cue. And that's where we get the fetch. So my retrieve cue is fetch. So what I'd like to first do, let's start with a little warm up. And I want you to warm up with the things that we've done over the last 2 weeks. So you're going to do a couple nose touches to your hand. You're going to do some chin rest to your hand or the ground, some hand targets like high five. And then I want you to send your dog to a platform. And then here is to teach, and this is called your 2-toy drop. And I want you to do a little game of 2-toy drop right after you've done a couple paw, noses, and place training. So 2-toy drop is to really supercharge your dog's desire to drop the thing that's in their mouth. So if you're struggling with the drop, like we had mentioned earlier, this is an amazing game to play that says dropping is fun because the next thing that I bring, I'm going to it's going to come in hot. So what I'm doing is I'm presenting one toy at a time. I'm really making it interesting, shaking it. Bandit grabs it. I let him win. And then I bring from behind my back another toy that wakes up. So the toy that goes in his mouth is dead to me. I don't move it anymore. I let him have it. I'm also doing a little bit of playful things like you would do with another dog. Okay, so let's stop for a second. Let me spotlight Deanie. And Deanie, go ahead and warm up. All right. So she's going to get down on the floor. So we've got paw target, nose target, and then a little bit of warm up with the 2-toy drop. Nice. Good. Now shake that toy a little bit more. Make it super interesting before you let it go. Now keep shaking it while it's in her mouth and let her pull it from you. Look at Bella's like, hello, mom, let's play. After she pulls it from you, make a big deal out of it, then bring the other toy low to the ground and shake it again. All right, John is warming Bella up. So stuff in her mouth. Good. Go ahead, John. You just toss it for her and just have her, yeah, toss it and have her fetch it to you. Go get it, Bella. Good. Refrain from pushing it into their face. All right. Put your toys away if you'd like, and then start off with like a nose target, spin, just dance for another 30 seconds, getting them completely warmed up. Bella's like, come on, guys, forget the warm up. Let's get going. All right. Whenever you feel it, go ahead and give your dogs a good little break. And let's go on to the first skill. All right. Skill number one is teaching hold. The dog takes the object and keeps it calmly in their mouth until released. This is different from chewing, playing, or grabbing. Start with a very short hold, even just a half second. Mark before the dog drops it. As the dog gets successful, slowly you're going to add duration. Now, although we've done this a million times, let's start from scratch so that we can get a really solid hold. The goal is a calm mouth, not a long battle. So let me go ahead and play my little video. So here I am presenting an object right in front of his mouth. Now you can do this with one or two hands. I'm marking when he puts it in his mouth, and there was the pull already. So you would typically, if you're starting from scratch, you would present the tug toy like this or a fleece rope or something, and you would mark and reward for any interactions. In this case, I'm gonna go ahead, I already got mouth on it. So he is putting in his mouth and I'm clicking before he drops it. Perfect. After success, you can add a half second and then kind of go from there. Okay, let's see, Deanie. Teaching hold from scratch. Click. Okay, just mark with the verbal marker so you don't have to. So I love how you're holding the rope with both hands. That's how I would have liked to have done it. There we go. Nice. Click before she drops it. Now place the toy behind your. Okay. Make sure you do reward her after you click, and then reward. Okay, now slow down a little bit. Click before she drops it. Nice. So she's doing a take and give. Go ahead and just say take it, and you're going to present it to her. She's going to pull back and then place your hand right at like a chin rest and say drop. Let's do a take and a give. Take it, give. Good. Pull your hand a little higher so that she's not dropping it down. She's actually got her chin. Position your chin. There we go. Take it, give. Good. Cup your hand a little bit more and target her chin to your hand. Take it, give. You got to get your hand there as soon as you give it to her, your hand's already there. Okay. Take, give. That was better. Let's pause for like 3 seconds before you do. Put it behind your back and just give her a second. Take a deep breath. Yeah. Okay. One more time. That was good. All right. Let's end on that one. Very nice. Okay. Moving on. Now we're going to move on to skill number 2, fetch to hand. So now we're turning the hold into a fetch to hand. I'm going to show you 2 videos, Deanie, so you can take some time to get off your knees for a second. The dog does not need to run across the room yet. You're going to start off close. I'm going to show you 2 videos. One of them is like 20 seconds where quickly, Deanie, you're already there. And the second one is moving across the room, and I'm placing the fetched item up high on a table. Okay, so start close, have the dog take the object and encourage them to come towards your hand. Your hand is the target. We want the dog thinking object goes to the person's hand. That is the foundation for drop, items retrieve. So think of medication retrieval, phone retrieval, and many service style tasks. So here is the first video. So I just showed you the very beginning of hold. Now I place the object right behind the dog. The same thing that I was just asking the dog to take, I simply place it right behind him. He goes and gets it, and right when he turns his head, my hand is already there. I'm targeting my hand under his chin. Now I toss the toy a little bit further away. So watch the toy went behind. Did you see that? And then I switch to a different toy. So I'm placing the toy right behind him, and my hand is there, right under the chin. So toy, hand under the chin. And that's my target spot for the dog to look for my hand. Now, once you have that, you're going to go a little further. So I'm asking him to go get the remote control since he has the remote on cue. Now, here he had to lift his paws up somewhere to get the remote. Okay, so we started with this simple one. And then, Deanie, after a few repetitions, because this is going to go so fast for you, you're going to switch over to putting it somewhere where she sees it and it's slightly lifted. See if she'll work for it and then bring it. So here he dropped it, but then he picked it back up. Okay. Remember to start with it right in front of your dog. Do a couple takes first and then place the toy right behind by the back legs. If the dog drops the thing early, decrease the distance of the dog bringing the object to you. You might want to even practice the trade game if you're struggling to get your dog to drop. So just keep going. Mental note, if Bonnie or another like Bonnie, if she's struggling with like avoiding your hand altogether, then you would review the nose touch to hand. It's just a little tip there. Nice, that's perfect. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now you've got the distance. Now take that rope and place it on the edge of that little table next to the couch. Let her see you take it over there. Just kind of let it hang off the side there. Perfect. Come back to your spot. Maybe you can just sit on the stool instead of kneel. There's a little stool right there. Yeah. Okay. And then you'll say fetch. So just she didn't see it. Let's go show her again. You're going to show her where it's at. Good. Good. Oh, wow. She's got good balance. There she goes. Yes. Good job. That was fantastic. Okay, stay with that same toy. Place it on the edge of the couch. Yeah, let her see you. Show her what's out. Okay, sit back down and then fetch and point to it. Yeah, so she's moving. Beautiful. So that was so confident. Nice. All right. Let's do two more. Just put in another place, maybe like over the door handle. Okay. Oh, John Chu. Uh-oh. She's missed. She's missed. Oh, there it is. Good. Oh my God. She's so awesome. Okay, last spot. Make sure she can see it. Okay, let her look. There you go. Ooh, that's hard. Yes, good job, Bella. You're amazing. Wow. Okay. Amazing. All right. Tell her she's all done. That was so good. So good. Okay. This next one's going to be extremely easy because you already did it, but we're working on place for positioning, skill number 3. So platform and place work help the dog understand the position. So you saw paws up with Bandit and Bella, but let's say that you want them to go to a spot to drop it off or pick it up from, like she did from the table. So in advanced task training, location matters. The dog may need to get something from the basket and bring it to the handler or place it in a specific spot. A platform gives the dog a clear station and reduces confusion. It also helps the dog who gets too excited because it gives them a job and a boundary. So I want you to try to and so she's going to go get a thing and then she's going to bring it to you while she's on a platform. So um, you can do the same thing that you were just doing, but now place the platform as her place to step on before she gives it to you, kind of thing. Okay, let's just do a 1 or 2 reps of this because it's kind of easy for her. Go ahead. So take the same red toy. Yep, take that platform. You can place, oh, she's got table pretty good. Okay. So first say fetch and then table and then drop. Beautiful. Just like that. So the 2 front paws on a table is a great way to show her exactly where you want her to stand to deliver that item. Nice. So for very small dogs, we do a lot of this kind of training with this object in their mouth so so the person doesn't have to bend over. So you're going to try to stay really upright now. Good. She's going to get up there now. Present your hand. Good. Good. Stay right there. Stay upright. Yeah. Perfect. You see, if you stay right there, she's going to turn her rear end. Did you see that? Yeah. Okay. Last one. She's going to turn her rear end and straighten it up. Keep your hand upright. Good. Perfect. Okay. All done. She is amazing. She's so good at all this stuff. Okay, let's go on to skill number 4. Skill number 4 is identifying an object by name. Now, in that video, you see that my remote control has a silicone cover. I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $2. And it was specifically because I wanted my dog to fetch the remote. So I have a silicone cover over my remote control. So in this next trick, you're going to teach the dog an object by name. So the picture here shows a remote control, shows a toy, a tennis ball, and a spatula. If your dog is super toy motivated, then you're not going to use your toys unless that's what you want them to identify. So later on, as you advance your skills, you're going to be able to say slipper, remote control, ring, your ball, and they understand that. And then you're saying fetch, which is the movement, what you want them to do with it. Do you want them to touch it with their nose, their paw, or do you want them to go fetch it and bring it to you? So identifying an object by name, you can do a brand new object you've never done before. You can go back to an object they've done, earlier on, and you can make it more challenging by adding things that they might know also what they're called. So we're teaching the dog that objects have names. Start with one object only. Say the object's name, such as remote, then cue the dog to interact with it. Once the dog understands that the word predicts that object, we can add a second object and at first make the second object very, very different. We are not testing the dog. We are teaching the dog how to be right. So objects that I would use is maybe a leash, a remote control, a toy, a bottle, a pouch for you. Think of naming an object you really want them to go grab. Say the object's name when they look at it, they touch it or take it. Don't just mark for any engagement at first, and then you can get the precision of a retrieve. Okay. All right, let's try this. So, oh, she is going to, with the plastic over it. Look at you. Nice. Mark and reward. Pick up the object. There you go. And then present it again. You do it on the floor. Nice. Don't worry about her fetching it. Let's just get the object by name. Because it's got plastic over. Oh, good job. So I'd name that quickly because she's fast. Remote. And you'd have to retrain it if you actually put a silicone cover over it because it'll seem different. Remote. Nice. That's good enough. Okay, very good. All right, go ahead and bring out a second object. Present the second object and the remote at the same time. Wait for her to pause for a second, say the cue. Now, if needed, you can always point to it. So remote, two objects presented at once. Good. So if you're asking too much, maybe it's too much to have her carry it because the slipper feels better in her mouth than the remote control. Maybe you just mark when she taps the correct one. Reward her because you forgot to reward her. Okay. Nice. Good. Yeah, let's just get her to touch the correct one. Okay, go ahead and pull out your third object. It'd be fun to name Bonnie. And Bella goes and taps Bonnie. Wow, so good. Okay, now it's ready to mix them up a little bit. All right, last rep. She's good at this. Nice. Good job, Bella. All right, all done. Give her her treat. She'll tell you if you haven't paid her. All right, moving on. Skill number 5. Okay, we're gonna do our advanced trick now, instead of skill number 5, which is the pull. So this is where the skills become a fun advanced trick. We're gonna ask the dogs to put the toys in a bin or trash in a trash can using the same foundation as retrieve. So instead of it coming to your hand is gonna go over the object. You eventually just point to it, and then your dog will put that same thing into a certain spot. So if it was the remote control, maybe you're asking them to put it back into a flat little plate that's on the coffee table. That's like a hard version of doing it. My dog is small, kind of like Bella and Bonnie. So perhaps you put the little toy bin on the floor and ask them to carry toys into a bin. So I'm just going to show practice. I know you guys have done this before, but show what the retrieving skills can do when you put it all together. So you're combining take, carry, target, and drop. Use a large bin at first. Reward objects over the bin. Build towards dropping them inside. The cue, once this is happening really reliably, I would use like something like cleanup or trash or put it away. I use put your toys away for the toy one. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and let's show off your put your toys away advance trick. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to talk people that have never done this before through this. So position is everything. So she's got the trash bin right in front of her. The toys are off to the side. Her hand will go right over the trash bin as needed. She's going to say, go get that toy. And she's going to present her hand right over the lip of the toy bin. Now, she's already skipping many, many, many steps because Bella has done this many times. She's going to reward right over the bin. She's going to ask for the next toy. Nice. Now Deanie's just going to point instead of placing her hand over. She's going to just point to the toy bin, which she didn't even have to do that. And then next she's going to no longer touch or point and just asked Bella to just drop her toy. Perfect. So once you're not having to prompt it a lot, point to the bin, now you can just simply say something like, put your toys away. She's looking for a toy. She's like, she doesn't see it. Okay. All right. Now let's repeat this, but this time let's put the toys a little bit closer together and let's have her put 2 toys away before you mark and reward. Right. Soon as that toy drops into the pin, you're going to want to ask her to go get the second one. And the timing is really important here because if you're too late, she's going to expect a treat. So if you keep her momentum going, before she starts thinking there's a mark happening, you're going to ask her for the next toy. So let's get 2 toys at a time before you mark and reward. Nice. That was great timing. She dropped it. She already clicked, so she's there. Good little correction there. And I love how Deanie is paying right over the toy bin. She's continuously creating a positive association with that toy bin. Size matters here, so the bigger the bin, the easier it is for the dog to put their toys in there. Also, it's the right height. So Bella's not having to lift her head up too much to just get that toy inside the bin. If you do have a toy bin that's too tall, you'll have to use a platform or something like that. Okay, last time, let's do all 4 toys. Dump them all out. She's so good at this. Now it's really doing a lot of work here. So the dog is doing four objects for 1 treat. So remember to use a big opening, keeping the bin closed at first, close to you at first. If the dog drops Move the bin a little bit closer. If the dog grabs and runs away, go back to just practicing fetch to hand or trade game. Nice work. All right, all done. Good job. Make sure you give her a treat. Put your toys away, because now we're going to move on to our pulling exercises. So pull is different than just biting at the tug. For pull, we want the dog to grab the strap and tug, applying pressure. So they're going to be moving backwards. This picture bandit is on a slippery floor, but when you see me teaching it in the video, you're going to see that I actually I'm on a rubber floor so the dog has grip. The other thing is that you want the dog to be standing so that they can back up. This can later become pulling a drawer, pulling a laundry basket. I'm going to show you pulling a door open and a refrigerator door open. But you can ask your dog to open a cabinet, help them with service style tasks, mark the moment if the dog creates the tension. We are looking for controlled pulling, not frantic tugging. So here is your video for this. So I'm presenting the toy just like we did for hold, but I'm asking him to stand. I'm asking him to back up. I'm shaking it. I'm not clicking until I see him actually pull, giving me a gentle pull. Now, put this quickly on cue. I switched over to a longer toy, and this one has a little bit of like rubber, like elasticity in it, so he can really give it a tug. So here I had it. He was distracted for a quick second because I dropped the treat. So I shook the toy and asked him to tug. So there's that backup that he's doing right there. He's applying pressure. Let's just do a pull for a second, and then we're going to go into open. All right, so just practice the pull. Now I am practicing right next to a door that I'm going to ask him to open. So exactly. Let's do this with Bonnie. Beautiful pull there. See that beautiful back up there? You mark. Put the strap behind your back at first so that it supercharges every time you take it up. And present it. Good. Pull. Nice. Soft floor is slippery, just like the picture I had presented. So sometimes you might want to put down a rug there. Perfect. Give her a little bit of something to grip on. She doesn't seem to mind, but that's okay. Nice tug there. Look at Bonnie go. Pull. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. One more. And then we'll go right into the open. I'm going to just present really quickly. Okay, so that was very easy. You saw Bonnie just made that look really easy. Going right into open, you're going to attach the tugger strap to a door or drawer. Once the dog understands pull, we can shape and open, attach the tug toy, or you'll see me do it with a it's a towel actually. Make sure that the object is easy to move and make sure you're careful that the door doesn't swing open. We're not asking them to open up a heavy door. We're rewarding the first tiny movement. So video wise, now watch this video because here's I'm putting this things together. So I moved the rubber mat in front of the refrigerator. Now position is everything. So the door has to open. So the door has to open so that it can open. You have to position yourself so that the dog is on one side or the other. Mark and reward for simple pulls at first, and then ask for a little more later. So there I asked for 2 pulls. There's that first pull. He opens up the refrigerator door. I'm making sure that the door doesn't slam open on him. He's also very amped and excited. I have a really high reinforcement. I'm using turkey deli meat right here. So Bentley is like really working his butt off. He is swinging that refrigerator door open. And that is a heavy wash rag that you would use like in the kitchen. So reward immediately, build duration. You're going to build their jaw strength slowly. So here I'm going to change position. I'm going to ask for it just by simply pointing. And eventually I just cue this as open. And then if the object is on the door already and they know it, then it's pretty simple. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen and let's see. We can pull that screen up just a little bit. I see, oh, there she is. Okay, good. Perfect. So we're going to want her to swing straight. Let's see how, oh, perfect. Okay, the door is going to open that way. Nice. So good. Open. So her angle needs to come back straight. There we go. Good. So good. Good. Asking for a bigger pool. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have you do just one little thing. Do you want to switch over to Bella? So here's my to move on to going into the pantry and the refrigerator after you mark the pool, instead of rewarding outside, you're now going to place the treat inside the um whatever. So in the video, it shows me placing the food inside of the refrigerator, and now Bentley's going into the refrigerator. So I know that you know how to do this. We can actually show this with Bella. So I want you to move your carpet a little bit closer to here so that the dog's paws are on there. And what I want you to do is I want you to combine that red tug toy with the open so we can show how you open and you get something, you bring it, and then you mark and reward. So let's finish off with showing what this thing really looks like if the dog was to go get their toy out of a pantry like this, okay, a cupboard for, yeah, exactly. So the first step you're going to do right now, since you haven't done this with Bella this morning, you're going to have her open, you're going to click and then take your treat and put it inside the cupboard and let her eat it from there. Do that 2 or 3 times. And then instead of her going to get that treat from in there, you're going to ask her to get that and then bring it to you and then click. Okay. Let's try this. Let's put it together. So we are really chunking a lot of this stuff together. There's the pool, click, and reward inside. Beautiful. And close the door, of course. Open, click, and yeah, she goes right in there. Okay, no problem. She's faster than you. Okay. Toss a treat towards the kid. Toss a treat to give her a say, hey, take a break, Bella. Okay, now put the toy inside already. Wait, Bella, wait. She is so fast. Okay, place the toy inside. Let her see that the toy is going inside. Okay. Oh, you already have the toy inside. Oh, okay. And now click, and now reward with the treat from your hand. Good. I like that you're sitting. Okay, put the toy back. Open. Fetch. Nice. Okay, we're going to add some distance to this one. So send Bella towards me a little bit more. Let her see that you're putting it in there. Have her sit and wait for a second. Give her some patience. Now back up. You're going to back up, Deanie, about, yep, stay right there with the camera. Yeah, exactly, right there. Okay. Now from a distance, open and bring it to you. Nice. So good. Okay, let's go a little further away. She's so amazing. Open, fetch. There it is. Very good. She's like, give me my treat. Stop touching me. All right. Well done. So good. So continue to practice that. That's an amazing task right there that you've already, that skill is just amazing. You can have her go get the remote control, but you can have her go get her own leash. You can have her go get a harness or a treat pouch or something like that once you've labeled it slippers out of a cupboard, or go get your toy or go get your tennis ball. This week, you're going to continue to bring that skill, just practice the repetitions that you've already done. 3 to 5 minutes, or and break it down. So like I didn't really see a lot of gaps in her, in Bella. I didn't see any gaps except that overexcitement. So slowing it down, having her sit and wait, that might be helpful, is like sit, wait, like we did for like match to sample, wait for a second. I'm going to slow down. I think that might help out a little bit, is giving her a spot to go to while I put this away, then creating distance. So she concentrated when you moved away from it. She was like really focused. So I think adding some of that and then bringing that platform in as needed. So good job today. Very good. All right, guys, if you're watching from home, practice those skills, break it down. I know Deanie made it look extremely easy. So just don't get frustrated, start from scratch, just do what you can do, but just get the repetitions in. All right, I'm going to stop our recording. We'll see you next week. Are we on next week? I don't remember. Is next week the last week of the month? I think so. Hold on. Let me just check really quick. Yeah, so next weekend we have no class, and then we're back on July 2nd, which is our 4th of July. No, June. It'll be June. Sorry. We're back on June 2nd. So no class next week. And then we're going to be doing what you just did. We're going to be chunking all of that stuff together into longer tasks. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Great job, Deanie. And looking forward to seeing Monty do some of these things. He'll be doing that a little bit later.